Hey guys, I'm Paden Henson with South Fork Disc Golf, and I'm going to do what's in my bag. So, I just got a Ranger bag for Christmas, basically, Christmas for myself. So I'm a little new with this still, and my bag's changing around quite a bit, but I'll try to explain as best I can where I'm at right now. So I'll start with my putters. I recently switched to the PA4s as my main putters. So I have my 3 salmon ones that I pack with me, mostly a lot for practicing, but I also use, so these two I use for practicing only, and this is my staple putter. Anything within 60 feet, I'm probably going to be using this one here. They're all right around 170. This is 173, and then this is one that I got from Infinite Discs, 172. It's still pretty stiff and not very well broken, so I'll use this one more for a tee shot, something a little bit longer. I really like how straight they are for the long putts, but they'll definitely turn over on me for a longer shot, which I've been utilizing more, but it's been something that I've been trying to get used to. I still keep my KC Pro AVR in my bag, again mostly for tee shots, something where I need it to be straighter or not turn over on me as much, but I've used this guy a lot less, especially in the last few months. And that's it for my putters. On to some of my mid-ranges. I've absolutely come to love my Rock 3 from Southeast Idaho Invitational last year. I use this for basically anything from about 200 to 250, and it holds a great line. I love that I can throw it out really straight, and it holds pretty steady with a little bit of a fade at the end, or if I give it a little bit of hang time, I can end up getting a pretty long fade at the end, or I can get a turnover shot with this as well. But really reliable for anything, like I said, probably around the 200 to 250 range. I also have just recently been playing more with the M4, so I just got this one just after Christmas, 171 M4, and I've liked it a lot for the leopard type of shots, but it's not quite as long. Ends up being probably just a little bit longer than my Rock 3, but it's a little bit easier to hold that turnover shot. Backhand is what I'm mostly using this for, but still getting used to throwing that guy. Going on to my Firebirds, I tend to carry 2 Firebirds, but I don't have my one with me right now, so I just have my 175, almost max weight Firebird. This one's still really new, has a really hard meat hook to it, so I love using this for a lot of rescue shots. Use it a little bit for overhand shots, but if I need a strong forearm that I absolutely know is going to fade strong and finish right, or same thing backhand, especially backhand, I can utilize it for a skip shot. Just a great utility disc. I really, if I'm in trouble, this is what I'll turn to most of the time is my Firebird. For clean up shots, I love using my T-Bird 3. Anything around 300, a little bit short of 300, if I have an open window, my T-Bird is money. This is a 170. I absolutely love this for like hole 5 at Freeman. Picture perfect. I can throw it right down the fairway. It holds a really straight line through the high speed, and then finishes soft left, backhand on that hole, and same thing for anything around that 250 to 300 range. This one flies out nice and steady and finishes reliable as well. The only thing I run the risk with this is if I do release it on a little bit of a turnover, it will carry that turnover all the way down the fairway as well. But as long as I release this one level, this has been a really nice upshot disc for me. I'll go to my wraiths next. So this is my most beat in wraith. This is one that I actually bought from my friend getting into disc golf. Sam McLeod sold this to me, and I bought it as one of my very first discs, and it's still one of my staple drivers for 300 range is prime for my wraiths. And this one, where it's so broke in, is a little less stable. It will tend to turn out for me, but is still really reliable to come back. I love using this, especially forearm. When I was first learning forearm, this was the disc that I got the max distance out of, and is still something that I can get a reliable 300-ish range shot on, forearm or backhand. I know I can turn to my wraith in the wind even. This one a little less so. So in the wind, I have my new wraith. Again, a heavier, almost max weight, 175. But I got this one as a backup and as a more stable version of the one that I bought from Sam. And so, again, a great disc. If it's a little windier, I'll turn to this one because I know that it will tend to turn over a little less on me. But forearm, backhand, again, a very reliable driver for me. Oh, I missed my leopard. So leopard, I just got, again, about a month or two before Christmas, little new Star Plastic 167 gram. Has been a lot more stable than I was hoping for, but it's also still really new and really stiff in the Star Plastic, so I'm hoping with time he'll break in and fly a little bit more like that M4, but has still held some really nice lines for me. Just need to spend a little more time with him, get him a little more broke in. I have next is a Blizzard Destroyer. I don't use this guy very often. I tended to use him initially for an easy distance disc, but as I've been throwing farther, it's turned over on me a lot. I can't read the pen on it anymore, but it's like a 150 class. It's right in the middle of the Blizzard weight plastic, and just haven't found a nice way to rely on him. He's tended to turn over on me a lot, but if I don't get a lot of speed on him, then he's still really stable. Just hasn't been really consistent, and I've got too many other discs that fly too similar to it, so this may be actually on its way out of my bag. Have some of my wife's discs in here as well, but we'll go to my staple distance is my Star Katana. This is, again, one of the earlier discs that I ever bought. I believe this is on max weight to 176. I bought this early in the year. I've only been playing for almost a year, so this one is really well broke in now. I absolutely love my Star Katana. This one is well broke in, so I have to be really careful. Certain days, if it is windy at all, or if I'm struggling to get my release angles consistent, this guy can't come out of my bag. But on days when I'm throwing well and it's a calm day, this is the disc that I've gotten the most distance out of. I I've thrown this one around 450 feet a couple of times, but the consistency is why I struggle with this disc. I love it for shape shooting as well. If I know that I need a really big S-curve, this disc will definitely pull on a hard turnover shot and still come back if there's enough air time. But I can also shoot on a hyzer flip and get a really strong forearm or backhand either way. So if I need to shape shoot something and I'm feeling good, this is my favorite and my go-to most of the time. As a backup for that one, I have another Star Plastic. This one I got is a little bit lighter, so this one's a 167, but this one's also newer, not fully broken, serving mostly as a backup, or if I want to run a little bit of a risk and if there's a little bit of wind, I can turn to this one and instead of my blue one. It'll be a little bit more stable, but he doesn't come out very often. Next I'll go to the Bosses. So I have a G-Star Boss. This thing is a tank. It's 175, but I feel like it's more like a 180. Backhand, this is so much disc. It's more disc than I can handle. So this one tends to be my forearm disc. If I need to be able to really rip on something and not have to worry about it turning over or taking off on me, this is what I go to. It will still get a lot of distance. It won't get the same distance as my katanas, but I don't have to run as much of a risk of it being 200 feet the wrong direction. Really beastie. And I just recently got a backup again for him, but this one's a Star Plastic, just a regular Star Plastic, a 175, and so this one is a little bit more broke in as well, so I can get a little bit more high-speed turn out of him. It does a lot better backhand if I need a strong, stable disc that's not overly stable like my G-Star, then I'll go to this boss. Next would be my Missilin. The Missilin I originally got as just a experimental disc. It's like the 15-speed disc and the weird hex patterning on it. So I got it initially just for kicks and giggles, but the stability of it is actually why I've kept it in my bag. I will use this for a lot of high Annie shots with a forearm, so I can throw it on a huge high Annie line to cut through a gap, but then still let it come back after it's gone through. Something like on 17 at Freeman, I can throw that Annie line to get it to cut through that tree line, but then come back and still finish toward the basket at the right placement. So I'll use this for some of those flex shots and sort of trouble shots that I need off of a tee or still just a long distance. Really stable disc. What I don't like about it is it does really fall out of the sky once it has lost its momentum. So that's why I usually use more of the Firebird for something that's shorter, more of a rescue shot. But if I still need more distance, then I can rely on my Missilin. My last driver is a Prodigy D2. I haven't had this one very long, and with it being clear, I haven't thrown it in the snow very much. But I'm really excited about what I've seen out of it so far. It seems to be along the lines of a Boss, but a little bit less stable, and so I'm hoping that'll kind of fill that gap between my Boss and my katanas. The Bosses are really stable. I get almost no high-speed turn, and my katanas, I run the risk of them being too understable. The Prodigy D2 so far is looking like it can be a middle ground. I again, forearm or backhand, it's done really well both. So I'm excited to see where that goes, and also with a couple other future discs, maybe a Freedom will be in here to be in line with the D2, a little bit of a middle ground. But as of now, that is what I have in my bag.